This is an ad.
I hate it!
An ad for crisp, refreshing Angry Orchard hard cider.
That is refreshing.
An ad that interrupted your podcast.
I hate being interrupted!
To remind you to stop being angry at me and crack open an Angry Orchard.
That's a good idea.
Don't get angry. Get Orchard. Angry Orchard Cider Company, LLC. AngryOrchard.com. Please drink responsibly. Angry Orchard is a hard cider with other natural flavors.
Hello, Spotify listener! Was it a good idea to employ me, Claptrap, a lovable robot with an admittedly shrill voice, to tell you about the next great looter shooter, Borderlands 4? Of course not! But you are listening, and that's the sick truth of marketing. Behold! Marketing hypnosis! Borderlands 4! Borderlands 4! Borderlands 4! Buy it! Buy it! Succumb to the marketing!
Rated M for mature.
What is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here with another episode of the BARF. William, I saw that. And it was not very nice.
Is it really not that nice? It's a term.
Maybe.
It's a gesture of endearment.
It's all good. It's all good. So what's going on, brother? You just got back from travel. I just got back from travel.
Yeah.
You've gone out for more travel.
You know, it's cool. It's always great to be at home because you get your new routines and stuff like that. We got one more trip in the summer, and then we got about 3 months where we're not traveling. So in
That's going to be
months,
weird.
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to get some work done. So
yeah, we've got Sherm coming up. It's going to be a fun one.
That is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it because we went to it 2 years ago in Vegas. We didn't go to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So comparing San Diego to Vegas is going to be quite interesting. But really, the news of the day is we have one of our hosts on a show on our podcast network.
We
Jay,
do.
How are you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your podcast, man.
Sure. Backstage Pass with the HR Rockstar. That's me. And I came up with the idea. I had 3 or 4 different friend groups, all different circles. None of them know each other. And they're like, you got to do a podcast. And I started thinking of my past, my future, and my current. And I was like, you know, I played in a semi-professional rock band here in Metro Detroit. We tried to make it for 10 plus years. And in corporate world, you keep hearing everyone's a rock star in Excel or project management or AI. And I was like, man, we actually chased the dream of being actual rock stars, not just one on Excel. And I was like, I got something here. And I was like, let me interview actual stars within their fields or their areas of expertise. And so I like to interview different quote unquote rock stars within their respective industries, and then throw out some fun music, movie, pop culture questions at the end. So
I love that. Brother, we love your show being a part of the network, and it's going to be fun. So it's going to be rapid fire. We'll start with the breaking news. And let me go ahead and give it to Jay. The Equal Opportunity Employment Commission, EEOC, will no longer provide funds for state and local agencies to investigate workplace discrimination claims involving transgender employees' disparate impact. New York Times. My kind of very limited take is no Fed money, fewer cases will be prosecuted, leading to increased discrimination. Kind of it's that simple to me. But Jay, you're the HR pro here. What do you think about this?
I think it's a move in the wrong direction because it's going to leave more people up, open the door, more discrimination, but no ways to report it at a federal level.
Right.
Because if the problem isn't there, it doesn't exist. Or you could bury your head in the sand and pretend it doesn't exist.
Well, exactly what we'll be doing is burying heads in the sand and glossing over pretty much everything. So, all right.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here, folks. This did not happen. All right. So we all know Monster. We all know Career Builder. Memo went out. I'm sure you guys have seen this already. Memo went out that they are closing their office. I think it was titled, "We Are Closing Our Office" or something like that. Anyhow, you can't really, in my opinion, you can't really save the innovation list, right? We'll go there. I feel like this is the story of saving the darlings, the OGs of the world, Monster and Career Builder, This is Ronstadt and Apollo just clearing house. I think it's time to move on. This is about a year old, William, the marriage, right?
Yeah.
It's mistakes made, mistakes happen. Move on. I don't think this is a pivot. I think it's a prep for a fire sale. I think they're on the way out. But William, what's your take?
If you look at the automotive industry, which Jay's he's in the backyard of, there's just some great cars that didn't make it. There's some great cars throughout the history of the automobile. There's some great cars that got some traction and then couldn't make it. And even some of the brands, the larger brands, GM and Ford, they had products. They went on a 10, 15-year run and they were doing great. And all of a sudden, boom, it's like the ecosystem or a forest.
Mm-hmm.
Not all those things are supposed to make it.
No, natural selection.
Yeah.
The one car, I grew up, Mom, if you're listening, I remember the car, the Chevy Chevette. Remember the Chevettes?
I do remember the Chevette.
The little hatchback Chevettes.
100%.
We had one, yeah. Right? Did you have one, Jay?
No, but being in the Motor City, I definitely know one.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. They don't make those. They went to like the Geo Metros, those things.
I had the precursor to that, which was the AMC Gremlin.
I was going to say the Gremlin, right? Yeah.
I had two of those, two 1974 Gremlins, and I stole parts off of one to then fix the other. So,
all right. Well, it's better than what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say you stole parts off someone else's car.
Oh, no, I've done that too. I can tell you some stories there. All right, Jay, layoffs have caused severe mental health effects on former federal workers. This is from the Washington Post, their investigation section. I believe this was the intent all along by Doge, whatever you want to call it. I think that they were trying to, make cuts, but also I think they were trying to impact the mentality of those that stayed, survivor's guilt, and those that left. This was a punishment. It's purely punitive. And so to see a story like this, of course, months later, days later, whatever, the severe mental health. I don't want anybody to go through severe mental health issues. No one, even if I don't like them. Jay, I'm not an HR practitioner. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate, and I really feel bad for a lot of the people in the federal government that went through this. Like anything, there's waste and abuse in any organization, whether it's federal, state, private. But how it's done, the scalpel versus the chainsaw, is what should have happened, because now a lot of people are being rehired. And yeah, I feel that a lot of people, it's definitely going to cause, I think it's just people being mean,
Yeah.
Instead of being effective, they were trying to prove a point.
Right.
Yeah, that's Jay, I like that take. If they were trying to prove a point instead of being effective. I think that's interesting. I like that. I like that take.
Ryan, it's the conversation that's happened through the years of human and humane, the relationship between the two. And as Jay said, chainsaw versus scalpel. If you're going to terminate, you're going to terminate. You've made the decision. Great. And not great. You've made the decision, which is great. But the whole point is the how you go about that.
You need to have good bedside manner.
Humane.
Cause everything. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Be humane.
Yeah. All right, Jay, have you been following the Rippling deal situation?
I have.
All right. So he's smiling. So I'm going to take that as a positive. There we go. So, all right. So Rippling's tender offer, drops GP, drops their name in there, claiming that Deal was doing the same old shady shit to them as well.
Oh.
So I wanted to talk about this because I kind of feel like it's old news. Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm kind of like, all right, we'll follow it. It'll be interesting. But this was a new kind of development, right? So GPs, they're kind of their OG competitor in this space. And this has now gone from like a he said, she said to now there's a trend. This has happened now. GP hasn't responded. They haven't mentioned anything on social. They haven't gone that route. They haven't denied anything. And so they haven't denied anything, not putting words in their mouth. I'm just saying, if it's in there, you would come out and say, No, that's not true.
I
However,
don't. I'm not a lawyer, nor did I say a Holiday Inn Express anytime recently. But does two make a class action suit?
I don't know. Jay's probably closer to knowing that than we are.
Like if Rippling and GP form does, and then does it get into RICO? I would think it gets into RICO because it's global, which could get criminal as well as civil. But again, not a lawyer. I'm not sure how that works.
Did they consult with P. Diddy on this? I mean,
100%. I need some
where
oil.
there's one, there's 30.
Got to oil that up. First of all, that is happening to another global, another company that's tangential to both parties. That's just dirty pool. Anyhow, Jay, what's your take?
This new development I'm not aware of. So
Yeah, me neither.
This is, yeah. So I'm a little bit, I guess, out of the loop in just the last couple of days on this development.
Yeah, this literally just came out, and there was this source. So I found this on Axios, and so Axios, they said the source, we'll say the source that they've spoken to, confirmed to them that this is indeed the case.
It makes sense on this level, Ryan. If you're going to go to the level of doing this type of competitive, well, really, it's espionage, it's corporate espionage.
Yeah, sure.
Right. If you're going to go to this level with one competitor, why wouldn't you go to other competitors? Like, we're not just keeping, from a CIA perspective, we're not just keeping our eyes on China. We're keeping our eyes on China, Russia, North Korea, Iran.
American citizens, it's all,
yeah.
it's all
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Here we go.
I don't mind that. That's why I always, throw out like Fusion Bomb occasionally in podcasts just to see if someone shows up. Jay, here's one for you. Hey, this is William Tincup, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Practitioner Corner podcast. It's a wonderful podcast about the journey, the paths of how practitioners, both HR and TA, kind of go from high school, college, all the way to where they are right now. Some of the things that they've learned, how they've been successful, people that thrive around them, etc. It's a fun podcast. You'll love it. You'll learn from it. Subscribe to it. Thanks. There's an ongoing shortage of workers for green jobs, but the U.S. isn't doing enough to fix the problem. This is from Bloomberg. So turns out trades are essential. We'll never reach that green goal if we don't have the people to help us with the transition, because AI is not going to help us with that transition. It'll help with the software part of it, but they're not going to help with the actual transition of gas stations into charging stations. Like, that's a physical thing that gals and guys have to do with tools and stuff like that. So if we don't have those workers, no matter how much we want to go green, we're not going to be able to go green as fast as we would like to.
It's interesting because there is the younger generation, Gen Z, there is a trend of them moving into the trades. Some people of all generations starting to say college isn't worth it, or it's not worth it for me at this time in my life. Maybe I'll go back one day, or I'll do something else. But again, I think it's in the marketing and the messaging, because the companies that will get it right on how to convert, whether it's gas stations to charging stations, or windmills here in Michigan and other parts of the country, they're going to be ahead of the curve. So again, I think it's in the marketing and the messaging of what do you want to do, and in 3.5 years, the messaging could change.
Good point.
Yeah, yeah. I have a story later that I want to bring up, Jay, that you probably just referenced that's really interesting along this. You all know Google, right?
Yeah, I saw this one. This was good.
Yeah. So they're expanding their buyout now, and they're doing this to the tune of billions and billions of dollars to reallocate $75 billion into AI investment. I've got a couple thoughts here. And you don't want to bet against Google. The moment I say, oh, Google, I'm going to, I'll be wrong. But they are and they have been chasing. They have not been leading, at least from what I can tell, in many, many years, right? OpenAI, Anthropic, they've stolen the show. This is a new era. They haven't kept up as well as I thought they would have over the years. They've been stuck in their advertising models, and that's just that. I haven't had any luck with all their tools. Jay, your opinion there. I haven't had any luck with their tools, even Gemini, but My gut would tell me if Gemini doesn't have a breakout year this year in 2025, I think Google's going to be the next Yahoo. I think they're going to come down quicker if they don't get there. Jay, what do you think about that?
It's hard to imagine that at one point because, it's a verb. You just go Google it. You don't really go Yahoo it or Bing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's one of the same, but you're right. I go to, OpenAI or ChatGPT and some other tools, even Microsoft Copilot. If I'm messing around in Excel or Word, I'll just try it out more compared to Gemini. Now, when I do a Google search and the first thing that comes up is the Gemini part of it, I do appreciate that. But kind of like a hot band, they have those 2 hit songs, they go up and they come right back down.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. I haven't had much luck.
The thing that, okay, so the take that I had when I read this article was the employee buyouts. So they're laying people off.
That's all this is.
Let's call this what this is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're going to be laid off. Jerry, I'm here to fire you. You're going to be laid off. Now it's a question of, do you take the severance package or not? Okay, so if you either take the severance package or you gamble. But really, they're telling you you're going to be fired. When they offer you a buyout, that's one step closer to the door for you.
I take the buyout and I run.
100%. But one of the things that I'm not so sure about, like the breakout moment and things like that, I think search is going to be in LLMs because of the lack of focus on ad models. They're going to do more of a subscription model. And so they'll make their money in a different way. And, then we'll see what advertising does there. But the one thing I would say, Ryan, is that what happens at Google has a way of playing out in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, when they talk, people listen.
And what they do, so they're shifting, like you can't get AI innovation. Where's that investment dollars coming from? It's coming from people cost.
Yeah, they got to get rid of the people. To do 75 billion is
that's a big number.
It's more than most countries' GDP. Yeah. And they're going to invest it into AI. Think about that, right? So
that's a further investment. That is not doing it.
Right. Yeah, further investment. Yeah. And when they do something, other big tech companies, they look at that and they will make the same shift. So this isn't good. This isn't the first time we've seen this. It's not going to be the last. Not going to be the last.
All right. Jay, no AI, no job. These companies are requiring workers to use tech. Employees are increasingly expected to increase their productivity by incorporating artificial intelligence into their daily tasks. This is the Washington Post. So I'm going to say something and both of you are going to vomit. College degrees are the new horse and buggies.
Yeah. They were a few years ago too.
So Jay, where you at? No AI, no job.
There's a couple of things to consider. Is one, I had an employment attorney on my podcast, and his first thing is, what's your AI policy? Because some companies don't even have one, or it's outdated.
Yeah.
What are your employees doing? Are they putting in proprietary information and not even knowing it? Is there training around it? You got to have guardrails internally first, whether that's with HR, legal, a one-on-one with your manager, and for maybe those that still aren't comfortable, have a grace period of getting people up to speed, offer company-wide training, whether it's virtual, in person, and keep encouraging no dumb questions, because this is new to a lot of people still, of all different generations.
So college degrees, where you at? Buyer, seller, hold?
I'd say hold, because I have one at Michigan State and I worked in higher ed for almost 20 years.
That means it's sell and he doesn't want to admit defeat.
Dude, my wife and I, we're on opposite ends of this. We both have 3 degrees.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
And she's on the, gotta have a degree. And I'm like, first of all, recruiters, Ryan and I can speak to that. Recruiters don't care about degrees. Hiring managers don't care. Do you have the skills? Now, if the degrees like mathematics or advanced mathematics degree, that's foundational, and you can write algorithms. Okay, well, that's different. That's a different bit. But like my first degree was in art history. Okay, so it's like, which I love, by the way. I mean, passion wise, great. But am I hireable based on the skills of art history? No. So it'll be really interesting to see, because this impacts. I heard this thing on last night when I was watching this YouTube thing about how we attract foreign talent to the United States is through our universities. So to Yale, MIT, all of that type of stuff. We have the best talent in the world, the smartest kids in the world that come to the United States. And sometimes they stay longer than they thought, because then we give them jobs and, they see all the cool shit in America, etc. And it's like, okay, if that goes away, or if it starts to drain, we're draining our own talent market of having the smartest kids in the world come to the United States.
Yeah. And they're going to go to other locations, other countries, and be our competitor.
Right. So on one level,
but that would be a universal thing. I don't know that. Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. It doesn't have to be universal, but I think globally, universally, college degrees are dwindling.
So the greatest technology school in India, the name's escaping me right now. We've got several guests that have attended. They would rather go to MIT or Cal Poly than go to that school. So if it happens at MIT and Cal Poly, it's definitely going to impact the school in India. Basically the MIT of India, whatever the name of the thing is. But so like looking at universities, like these little small, tiny universities, 2,500 students, etc. Like, I'm not sure they have a sustainable model going forward.
No, a lot of the smaller universities by us have been acquired. We just had a couple acquired by Villanova.
Right.
And they're just picking up all the small. Villanova's here, which only 7,000 students, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't know why. But it's only like 40 minutes from me. So you got Villanova and you have a whole bunch of little ones. And they're
satellites. Yeah.
No. Other universities.
Oh yeah.
And they're just eating them up. Yeah. They're just acquiring them.
Well, I think it comes down to specialization. Like I see that market consolidating. And of course, part of consolidation is some people are just going to get left off the train. However, if you've got a great specialization, that specialization, you're gold. So instead of being broad, like a lot of these little schools have, we've got 135 different bachelor's degrees. I see that consolidating down into what are you really good at?
Go to community college, get yourself a degree, learn how to weld or be a piper or whatever. And
lay some pipe.
Lay some pipe.
You. All right, I got another one. And Ryan kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but this was actually more specific. AI startup Anthropic says its new AI model can work for nearly 7 hours in a row, and AI could soon handle complex tests without human prompts. This is CNN that's reporting it. It reminded me of my a lot of our breakup bits in high school and middle school. It's not you, it's me.
I don't know how you tie shit together sometimes.
So, but it does. It kind of reminds me. It's like I can see the AI of the future going. No, that's not you.
It's not you.
It's me.
It's me.
I just learned all the shit that you knew, and then just applied it in a more efficient.
In fact,
manner.
You just go over there, go hang out.
You know what? Go play
paycheck,
foosball,
little one.
Yeah. Go get you. You like foosball? Go play foosball.
Yeah, you'll get the paycheck.
Good. Have a beer. Anyhow. All right, so Jay, when you hear something like this, so outlandish, okay, 7 hours straight, maybe even doing really complex things that humans normally do without prompting, where are you at?
I think it's exciting and scary at the same time, depending what it is it's doing. There's a lot of talk of AI this, AI that. Some are going to get left behind, but we went from putting guardrails around it and regulating it to like not doing anything with it. And it's what is that going to do to our tax base as a country if there's mass layoffs?
Right.
And then no one's going to be able to afford the products other companies are selling.
That's right. That's right. That's actually a really, really good point. You go through all the layoffs, people don't have jobs, or if the jobs that they have are, hourly jobs or whatever. Okay, well, then how's anybody going to afford? So now it makes that gap between the haves and the have-nots even. I mean, the middle, there is no middle class. So it's just going to make that wider, that digital divide and financial divide between us. That's interesting. Good call. All right, let's get into some money, Ryan. Let's do some acquisitions.
Yeah, we got some acquisitions to do, Jay. So, all right. So we've got, I don't know how to say his name, Acrisure,
Acrisure.
ACRI Shore. So they acquired a company, Global Payments, which is a payroll business for just north of $1 billion, 1.1 billion. And they're if you don't know Acrisure, they are Acrisure, whatever it is. The company.
Stick with one and go.
Yeah, just go with one of them. So they're a large insurance company. So they do employee benefits, property, casualty, the whole bit. So they've recently acquired Heartland Payroll. They've made another acquisition on payroll. So now they're making a play to become just a straight fintech, and they're actually making a play to get into the HCM space, which they've already kind of been part of. But anyhow, back office play is where they sit, and in the actual releases and what they're talking about is bundling, which we heard, William, last week or a couple of weeks back over at Cornerstone. We were talking about bundling and all this other stuff. They're talking now about bundling all of their things, and I feel like we're in the era of bundling. This is the way companies are going.
The way Cornerstone was talking about it is bundling without upcharging. So helping people understand they have access to all these new things. And you know what? At first, it's going to be like all the telephone companies, basically at first it's going to be free. And at one point, then they're going to charge, right? But at first, bundle it together. Let you have all these things you have access to them because of the platform. And so I think this is Acrisure's play, is their customers already in this part. Now we have let's say it's global payroll, or we have this other play. Let's get them on that and get them used to it and then charge for it. And some people charge immediately. So some of it's that way as well. So yeah, interesting.
All right, we got another one. UKG acquired Shiftboard.
Yes.
The guys at Shiftboard. So Shiftboard made its name. They did really well. Shiftboard, Jay, if you don't know, or whoever doesn't know, is a scheduling platform for specifically in energy and manufacturing. So frontline workforce. They've made a big name for themselves. This is UKG doubling down on its commitment to frontline operations. They are now going from a broad HR payroll play to more verticals like oil, gas, energy, manufacturing. And this was a missing piece that they needed, and a lot of companies that do this need. This is one of those areas that I won't say it's overlooked. It's just not done really well. And it really affects everything that happens throughout the entire process for all the employees. Jay, what's your take on Shiftboard and scheduling and frontline workers?
It makes perfect sense, and I wonder who else tried to bid. what are UKG's competitors? Who are they looking at right now too?
Right,
because it makes sense. And like you said, not necessarily a forgotten piece, but a lot of hourly workers that aren't going to be going away with AI, cashiers.
That's right.
Makes perfect sense.
It's almost like if you look at it and it's repeatable, and it's a task that it happens. Like I'm thinking about, Krispy Kreme. I don't know if y'all have ever gone into a Krispy scene. You see the way that the donuts are made, right? Like that's a repeatable task, right? Now think of that in a workspace where somebody's doing the same thing, the TPS reports, they're doing the same thing every day. Those jobs are gone. Like, we're just watching those jobs just go away. Now, what's interesting, and Ryan, you would not remember this because you have a horrible memory.
Thank you.
In February, they partnered together. So, and you reported on it. Shift Board partners with UKG to transform employee scheduling in the manufacturing and energy sectors.
Yes.
February 6th of 2024.
2024.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Basically about a week before we launched.
Yeah.
So they partnered. Year and a half later, you know what? Partnership's going pretty good. Yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and buy you now.
Yeah, we're just going to take you off the market there.
We like you so much.
Before you buy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what, Jay, that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah. All right, we're ready for some research?
I can't wait to get to mine, but you've got one in front of me, so go ahead.
I do. All right, Jay, this is the one I was referencing. You were talking about trades earlier. 1 in 3 Americans recommend trade school over college for high school graduates. So we talked about this, William, a few weeks back. Plumbing and electrical, 500 and 600,000 projected for each individually. Shortage by 2030, I think the date was. Some of this to me, as I read through the study, and then another research piece I'm going to talk about later, I think this is more of a cultural shift right now. I think college trust is waning. It's going away. The value of a degree it's just not there, right?
Plummeted.
It's plummeted. It's not there anymore. Another study that was shared said 50% of office workers, this is interesting, 50% of office workers are considering a pivot to a trade. So white collar stress, they called it white collar stress versus blue collar pride. 50%. That's a huge number. And I was thinking, like, I might actually, I've always wanted to learn to weld.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not weld? So, anyway, I thought it was really interesting. A couple quick stats here, and then Jay, I'll get your take on it because I think this is an area that you sit in more than we do. 33% of U.S. adults named vocational and trade school as the ideal path, outpacing 4-year college at 28%. Second stat there was support for trade pathways was the highest among baby boomers at 41%. Gen X, 37%. Millennials were 31% compared to just 22% for Gen Z. What are your thoughts?
It makes sense. Full disclosure, my son is in high school and wants to do this exact same thing.
My daughter too. My daughter is going to tech school for electrical.
I played the clip you're referencing that you brought up a couple of weeks ago for my son.
Yeah,
and I said,
nice.
And I said, see, I go, but you have to go to community college and get an associate's in business to complement, like, you know, how to run a business. So it complements it because you're going to be in sales. You're going to be in customer service. You're going to be letting someone know this $400 project is now.
Or you're going to be limited. You'll be career limited because you'll be great at electrical.
Yeah. Right.
And you can install the fans and the lights and all that stuff. Like, you'll be great at that, but you won't be great at.
Jay, I like where you were going with that. This $400 part is now $1,800, and let me tell you why.
Yeah. And you have to be able to sell that and have that empathy, you know.
Right. Yeah. Like, I understand price is high. If you can't buy it now, totally get it. But here's what's happening, and this is why it's an investment for you.
Yeah. Show them this clip.
I mean, again, our trade shows the answer for everyone? No.
Trade shows? Just trades.
Sure, trades. Are the trades the answer for everyone? No. Is college the answer for everyone? No. It never has been, by the way, for forever.
It's never,
It's just the trust. I think your point about people's perception of the erosion of trust of colleges, their value. Like, I can remember, like, my parents, my dad was the first to go to college in our family. And, like, It was St. Edward's University in Austin, and it was like I was a thing. Like he was put on this pedestal because he got a college degree. And the generation that came after that, it was just expected that you went to college, and it was also rewarded, I would say. When I got out of business school, it was the money, it was commiserate, right? But I believe after that, I think the next generation started to feel the disconnect between employers and how they value degrees and what they got as an output or product. And so interesting.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. I really can't wait to get both your opinion on this. According to a recent Deloitte study, 6%, that's 6, one more than 5, of Gen Z workers say their primary goal is to reach a leadership position. So make sure y'all both understand. 6% of this group of people, their primary goal is to reach a leadership position. So does this lead us in some way to AI being the leaders? But why I'm asking it that way is who's going to fill the leadership void? If Gen Z doesn't want to be, the 94% of the rest of Gen Z does not want to be in leadership, does not consider leadership as a goal, someone's going to have to lead. I don't know whom.
Well, we're never going to come out of retirement, and we're never going to get to retire. And we're going to be leading in our 80s.
I don't want to retire. I want to die in the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how everyone's going to be. Now, all right. So I know a few
6%.
Yeah, I have a few friends who they're not Gen Z. They're all our age and older. They've resigned from leadership roles to just be a contributor, and they're good at what they do.
Well,
they're
cool.
Really good. They just don't want to lead people. They love leading process. I've had these conversations with them.
Oh, yeah.
They love leading process. They love achieving. They love doing their thing. They don't want to lead 15, 20, 30, 100 people because they don't want the headache of it because they're not being compensated appropriately. They're not seeing the benefits of leading a team of 50 or 60 people. They're just getting an attaboy or an attagirl and moving on.
Just sounds like more responsibility and less money.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. That's exactly.
Jay, what's your take?
Trying to wrap my head around that 6% because
that's a small number, brother.
And what counts with that other percentage of those jobs lost due to AI or people going into the trades? So it's like the pool's getting smaller.
Good point.
It's all coming full circle.
So basically what I hear here is if I hang on, I'm going to be successful at some point in life.
Just by leading these other kids.
Just by leading the young kids.
All I got to do is survive, and I too could be in leadership.
Yeah, that's it. Mom, I've always wanted to be a CEO. Here we go.
Well, that's a battlefield promotion right there. Good for you. Good for you.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
all right, what else you got?
All right, I got another one, don't I? Yeah, I do. All right, so this one's interesting. This is CHROs and CIOs battling it out. So this is the 2025 CHRO report that was published by iCIMS.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based on surveys of 1,000 U.S. based CHROs and chief people officers, 500 CIOs, and 1,000 U.S. adults. Doesn't say the breakdown of adult, but 1,000 U.S. adults conducted between late February this year and March of 2025. So HR leaders see TA as a growth engine. I don't think this is going to be this is going to be shocking to us.
Uh-huh.
IT and some business execs just see HR as operational support. So curious to get your thoughts on that because I'll give you some stats. Only 30% of CIOs think talent acquisition drives business growth. The other 70% fell into the bucket as operational support.
Right.
However, 88% of HR leaders believe TA is strategic.
I'm shocked by that number.
But they're not getting the cross-functional buy-in by their peers as they see them, which in the other eyes of the other potential or prospective peers, they're not actually peers.
Right.
William, I'll take it off with you.
Yeah, I think so. First of all, only 30% of CIOs, because they're technologists, they think that technology solves the problem, not people. And they're discounting the value of the people that make the technology. But that's true. That's historically true. So that part I get. I think that number probably is lower in truth. So from their perspective, the HR number, the 88% of HR believing TA is strategic, I think that's a lie. I don't think they believe that at all. I think that, it's one of those deals. In a perfect world, that would be 100%. But I think in reality, just the way that HR treats recruiting as, a redheaded stepchild, I just don't think that actually is a true number. I just can't, I think it's aspirational at best. But Jay's the practitioner. Jay, what do you got here?
There's an old saying that says business is very easy until people get involved. And like you said, CIOs, technology does not solve every problem. There's people that are up in your business in the workplace. Maybe a joke went too far. There's a lot of dynamics that technology is not going to solve. You have to bring in the human element. And that's one thing I focus on, is putting the human back in human resources. And that might be a buzzword to some, but the reality is that you can't tech your way out of everything, whether it's TA, immigration, employment-based visas, labor relations, employee relations, training and development, anything across the board, comp. You just can't. Well, he makes this, why don't I?
Yeah.
You have to be able to have a conversation.
We literally just had this conversation today.
Yeah, with Sean at Totally Rewarding Chats.
Yeah. I need to know why William's making 3 times the amount as me, and I'm doing all the work. I don't get it.
I know why. All right, let's do funding real quick. Let's wrap this up.
Let's get some funding. Kick us off.
Hex, an AI-powered workspace for data science and analytics, raised $70 million. This Business Wire. So Hex is built for data teams that want to be high ROI partners, but they're held back from that by fragmented tools and siloed workflows and the endless streams of one-on-one questions. So this is data science teams that need an application that makes them more efficient, which is $70 million. And that's a lot of money to make them more efficient. But imagine making that team more efficient and what you're going to get out of it. So good for, I like the name Hex. But I went and looked at their website, and their website is gorgeous, like different. So
that's why they got the money.
Yeah, that's where they spent it. All right.
All right, I got one here. So Pallet raises $27 million to scale community-powered job boards. I didn't want to put this in, but we did talk about Monster and Career Builder. I'm like, yeah, all right, well, job board's getting money, so we might as well talk about it. They got more funding than Monster probably has in the bank account at this point. However, all right, so they build custom job boards for creators, VCs, online communities, basically the the content creators, people like this. When I saw this, I went and I looked them up a bit and started looking at some of the stuff they're doing. Really what they're doing is what LinkedIn has, I shouldn't say LinkedIn hasn't done, but they haven't scaled trust. They've scaled trust, I think, among business and among recruiters, but they haven't scaled trust among job seekers. At least I don't believe so. But a lot of companies, job boards have tried this in the past and they failed. So anyway, I like this because it kind of flips the funnel. They're monetizing attention, they're monetizing reputation, and they're bringing jobs to the creative market and actually putting together real communities of people, not just a bunch of resumes in a folder. So I like that. Jay, you have any experience with that?
No, actually I don't.
No.
Yeah, I think this is it's similar to what Aaron Matos, who founded Paradox. He had jobbing.com before that.
Oh, gotcha. Forgot about that.
Jobbing.com was local, So that would be one for Philadelphia, one for Dallas, one for Detroit, all that. So local job boards. This is even more kind of hyper focused on, the content creators and communities and things like that. So jobbing did really well. I mean, exited really well, did really well. When you first went through this story, I thought of OnlyFans, and I was wondering, like, does OnlyFans have a job board?
They do. It's called it's called performing.
No, I appreciate that. So somebody likes toes. I don't know. It's not me. So the thing is like, can those OnlyFans creators create their own job board?
Content producers, editors.
Make a piece, baby. You've got the audience eyeballs for whatever reason. No judgment. You've got the audience eyeballs. Could you monetize those into job ads?
So what I'm hearing here is I can no longer get in trouble, and I might actually have a reason to be on OnlyFans.
100%.
Honey, I'm looking for a job.
I'm just saying, talent acquisition has moved to OnlyFans. I got to be there. I don't even want to be there.
We should have started off with funding today.
Yeah, we should have. All right, you ready? I got one for you. AI time platform Laurel secures $100 million to help employees time input to business outcomes to optimize resource allocation. So this is built in sanfrancisco.com. So what I love about this is, I think time and attendance is like one of the most unsexy kind of things that you could ever imagine, wherever the way that we used to do punch cards, or even if we log in on a computer, what this thing is doing is taking how you're using your time and then saying, here's the business outcomes. How do we maximize your efficiency of your time towards the business outcomes? Genius. Genius level genius. Because before it was just a punch in, punch out. So we knew when you came in and when you left, but we didn't really know what you were doing in the middle. Your manager might have, of course.
Right.
Your peers might have. But was that aligned with the business outcomes? Maybe, maybe not. So good for Laurel. Cool name as well. $100 million,
So Jay, William picks these companies based off the names.
100%.
You do find some cool names. All right. I've got one more, and I put this one in here solely for you. Not the impressive $1 billion funding that they just took, but I put it in for you. So Jay, William uses Grammarly like no tomorrow, and he yells at me for not using it. Anyway, they secured $1 billion in non-dilutive growth finance. So this is big. It's a big number. So General Catalyst is behind the financing. So they just basically handed them over $1 billion, $1 billion, right? It's non-dilutive, so no equity, no board seats, just a capped rev share on this. So in 2023, Grammarly fixed your sentences. That was it. 2025, it's running enterprise communication, right? So email, chat, they're in docs, they're in the CRMs, they're shaping
Everywhere.
tone now. They're at every platform that we use just for fun as a small business, personally, or in enterprise. And they're making their way in deeper and deeper and deeper. So the question is, I guess for you guys, do they go wide with features, or are they going to start to go deep into industries now and really start to own specific verticals? William, I'll go with you first.
I think they'll do both.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is they're going to go deeper in industry specific stuff so they can get the lingo, but also hyper personalize. Like because I use it for everything. There are things like, to feel more confident. So it'll raise like a thing for me, and it'll highlight something. If you want to feel more confident, rephrase it this way. I'm like, I don't need people to think that I'm more confident. I don't need help there. Pretty comfortable there. So it's not as personalized to the person. It's still looking at, your grammar is Ryan grammar, my grammar. But I believe that hyper personalization that's going to happen with Grammarly to an industry, etc. I think that's where they win. Is they start to, like your use of ChatGPT, it knows you, and it's getting to know you even more the more you use it. Grammarly should be doing that. They should have been doing that all along, but they should be doing that now.
Yeah, and they will.
Yep. Well, they got a lot of money to do
They
it.
have a lot of opportunity to do this.
$1 billion non-diluted is almost unheard of.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the cap is on the revenue, on the rev share and all that. I don't think it fucking matters. They're getting paid back.
They're going to get their $1 billion back.
So
there's that.
They're going to get their $1 billion plus back.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, we got one more.
Yeah, ready? Zorro, an AI-powered benefits administration platform, raised $20 million to expand its personalized healthcare solutions for brokers, employers, and employees. So, the game here, really, what Zorro's playing with a lot of the folks they're playing global benefits is hyper personalization. You're going to get into a place where you basically everyone personalize your own benefits that you need. Here's the number. Like, we're going to spend this much money on everybody. Mm-hmm. Where do you want it? You want it in dental? You want it in vision? You want it in wellness? Who gives a shit? It's got to be hyper personalized. And Zorro, coming from an AI powered perspective, they can then optimize that to the individuals.
And we're out. We're all done. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for watching. We shall see you next time.